What is it with me and watching really good entertainment that has a soul-crushingly sad ending? The tale of the Princess Kaguya was a huge surprise to me. I did not expect to enjoy this film anywhere near as much as I did. The primary reason is that it's a Ghibli film. Now I know that statement may be blasphemous in certain circles, but I have to confess, Ghibli films just aren't really for me. This is a situation similar to the Studio Trigger one that I spoke about in my Cyberpunk Edge Runners video. If you haven't seen that video, then you should, because I put blood, sweat and tears into that video. Not literally, figuratively, but anyway, in that video I stated that I wasn't a fan of Studio Trigger anime, despite the objectively great animation that they consistently put out into the world. Studio Ghibli is the same for me. They produce some of the greatest, most iconic animations in the entire world. But for whatever reason, Studio Ghibli films just don't really click for me. Perhaps it's due to them being a little more kid-friendly than the average anime that I watch, with Ghibli occasionally being referred to as Japan's Disney, but even then, I do like a lot of Disney films, as long as they're actually animated, of course. If you told me that you loved Ghibli films, I'd have no issue with it, as they are a testament to the creativity and hard work that can be found in Japan. I just don't particularly like them that much. And I have watched a lot of Ghibli films, okay? I've tried to get into them. Even the ones that I've liked, such as Howl's Moving Castle and Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, those are films that I just liked. I didn't really love them. Anyway, this is a long-winded way of me telling you that Ghibli isn't for me. However, there were two Ghibli films that received a lot of praise that weren't called Spirited Away. These were Grave of the Fireflies, which is also an apparently depressingly sad anime film, and the other is The Tale of the Princess Kaguya, which I knew nothing about. Now, since I can't find Grave of the Fireflies anywhere, and The Tale of the Princess Kaguya was on Netflix, I made the obvious decision to watch that film, and, hoo boy, nothing could prepare me for the feels that I was about to experience. The Tale of the Princess Kaguya is one of the most frustratingly sad films that I've ever seen. It's a film where you know the answer for the entire film, but no one acts on it. It's a beautiful, heart-wrenching tale over how money and power can blind people, and how nothing matters more than your own happiness. Right off the bat, when the film starts playing, you'll notice a distinct aesthetic that separates the tale of the Princess Kaguya from other Studio Ghibli films. Like most studios, Studio Ghibli has a very identifiable animation style. You could show stills from different anime, and most people would be able to tell you which is Ghibli and which isn't. The Tale of the Princess Kaguya has such a unique visual style that works perfectly for the film that you are watching. Whereas films like Howl's Moving Castle pack the screen with as much visual flair as humanly possible, The Tale of the Princess Kaguya takes a much more laid-back approach. The aesthetic takes on the less is more mantra, and they are absolutely right in this case. Oftentimes, the background is just white, with only a few things to ground the viewer in a certain location, such as bamboo shoots or moving carts and carriages. Like I said, this gives the Tale of the Princess Kaguya very unique visuals, but it also gives the animators a lot more freedom to express Kaguya's feelings with the animation, such as one moment in the film where Kaguya lashes out and runs away, trying desperately to escape her miserable life. The animation is jagged and unpleasant to look at, perfectly encapsulating Kaguya's thoughts and emotions. The reason why the film works so well is it makes you ponder what could have been. It's very obvious that Kaguya enjoys her life at the start of the film, but due to the misguided ambitions of her father, who wishes her to be happy, he only ends up making her miserable. Both of her parents wish the best for her, but it's her mother who notices her daughter's feelings first. Her mom doesn't adjust to the new lifestyle, and continues to act how she did before, to the annoyance of the father, who wants him to act a certain way so that again, Kaguya can be happy. It's amazing how blind the father can be to his daughter's feelings, but I guess the saying, love is blind, has multiple meanings. The bamboo cutter believes he knows best, and believes he knows what is best for his daughter. He's a great character as you get to see how a parent can be so wrong about their child, and can cause so much misery for them, without ever thinking they're a monster. At no point in the film did I hate the dad. Yes, it is his actions that lead to Kaguya's sadness. And yes, all the pain and suffering in the film could have been avoided if he ever actually listened to her or the mum instead of the rich nobles or Lady Sagami. He wasn't evil, just a loving father who completely messed it up in a way that you know he'll regret and blame himself for the rest of his life. The film is a long one. It clocks in at 2 hours 17 minutes and you do feel it. There were a couple times that I checked my phone during the film because I was starting to get tired, but I actually think the long runtime overall works in the film's favour. Just like Kaguya, you grow tired of the lifestyle that she is living and long for her to return to characters like Tsukimaru. The beginning of the film is the most enjoyable, not just for Kaguya, but for the viewer too. When she's happy, we're happy, and when she's bored, we start to get bored. I think it works perfectly in showing how horrid her life has become, and it makes us long for her to receive the happy ending that I fully expected her to get. This is a Ghibli film. These are films that you can show to children. They are fun for all ages. Not the tale of the Princess Kaguya. Unfortunately, there is no happy ending. The tale of the Princess Kaguya is one of the greatest tragedies that I've ever seen. Now the ending could have easily come across quite poorly, since there are a lot of revelations about not only who she is, but what she is, and this easily could have come across very negatively had it not been executed well. Fortunately, they pull it off. In a lot of ways, the ending is sadder than if Kaguya had just killed herself, something she told her father she would do if she was forced to marry, and the thing that snapped him out of his delusions. It's a heartbreaking tale as we are offered a glimpse of what Kaguya's life could have been, spelling it out that she would have been happy had her father not intervened. However, I like that Kaguya accepts the sadness and misery of her life, and doesn't regret the life she led, as for all that pain, she did love her mum and dad, and they did love her. She got to live a very human life, and it was a life she wanted to continue, making the final moments of the film very upsetting, and it's not hard to piece together what happens after the events of the film. The film constantly makes the viewer think, what if? What if the dad hadn't done what he did? What if the mom convinced him he was wrong? What if Kaguya had stopped him? What if all of Kaguya's friends didn't have to relocate? What if they were able to return to their previous life? Kaguya's life may not have been what anyone wished for her, but there was occasional joy mixed in with the suffering, like when she helped her mom with the garden or her friendship with Menowara. Kaguya's life at the end of the day was a human one, so of course there was tragedy and suffering in it, something Kaguya herself realised in the end. Anyway, that's all I have to say. See you next time.